Hello guys, welcome back. So let's talk about HTML computer code element. Okay, so in this video we are going to talk about these particular elements that we can use in order to define user input or computer code. So when we are programming, sometimes it's going to be compulsory to show the output result, an error message, or a portion of code on our web page. So in order to solve this kind of issues using HTML, there are several tags that we can use for user inputs, for codes, for programs, for showing error messages. Okay, and with the help of these particular HTML tags, we will be able to write and display these particular user inputs or codes on our web page. So we are going to talk about like five of these elements. All right. So the very first element that we can talk about is going to be the element code. Okay. So the HTML code element here is going to be used to represent, some portion of code on our web page. Okay, so the content that we're going to write in between this particular tag will be displayed in a default monospace font. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. For example, here, if we write x equals, let me bring it down here, x equals 10 semicolon, um, I can break line down here. We can say a y, no, maybe x plus y equals 15 semicolon, break line like this, and then say x plus y plus z would be equal to 20, for example. So as I was saying, so the code that we write inside the code element here is going to be displayed in a default font, so a monospace font, as you can see here on the screen. So that's the first element that we can talk about. Another element that represent, computer code element is going to be the tag keyboard. Okay, so the tag keyboard, if I remove this, no, maybe I can come and write it down here. So the tag keyboard here, you will write it like this, KBD, KBD, like this. All right, so this particular element or tag is going to represent user input, the keyboard input, maybe the voice command and all of that. So the text that you are going to write in between this particular tag is typically going to be displayed in the browser's monospace font as well. Okay, so let's say that here we want to display some, we'll say control plus S. Okay, and here I'll maybe put a paragraph. Let me bring that up here. The same thing for this one. Yes, let me, yeah, this is down here. Here I will close the p tag. And here we say Save your document by hitting Control S. Yes. So now you see the text in between the KBD here is written using the default monospace font, like that. And that's what I wanted to show you. Let's talk about the next tag that we can have a look at is going to be the samp element. Samp like this. You can close it like this. Let me just recline like this. Okay, so this samp element is used to represent a program's output. Okay, like the text that you are going to write in between this particular tag as well is going to be displayed using the default monospace font. Let's just take an example. For example, we can say here, file not found, and break line, press next, maybe like this, next, to continue. So as I was saying, so this particular element, the samp element here, is used to define a sample output from a computer program. For example, if you want to display, the result after clicking a certain button, or an error, a message or a notification on the screen, you can use the samp element. And as you can see, it is also displayed using the monospace font, the default monospace font of the browser. Yes, that's it for the font. The next one will be another variable, another tag, which is the var tag. Okay, this is when you want to define a variable. Okay, so you have to use this particular element if you want to define a variable. So the variable could be a variable in a mathematical expression or a variable in a programming context. Okay, so for example, if you want to give a formula, a mathematical formula, or another formula, for example, you can use that. So let me just put it inside a p tag. So I'll say p like this, close it here. And we're going to write the area of a square or maybe of a triangle like this is colon 1 over 2 times, and then here we're going to use the variable. So in the variable here, in the var element, we're going to write our variable. We can say b, let me go up, it's here, times, we're gonna have another variable element, close that var here, and say h. Okay, so as you can see how it's showing here. And we can even continue by writing where variable b close the variable tag, is the base, and variable h, close the tag, is the vertical height. Yeah, so now you can see how the text inside our variable element is showing. It's showing in italic. So this is to tell you that we have used a variable tag in our code. Okay, so that's how it's going to display here. And then the last computer code element is going to be the pre-formatted text. So you are going to use this particular element. So this is going to be used if you want to define a pre-formatted text, so which displays the content within it in a fixed width font. It keeps the content into its original format and ignores all formatting. So like in this particular example, let me just copy some text here. Copy that and paste it in here. So now you can see how this will display. So it's going to display it in a single line. All right. What if I bring this down here? You see, it's going to display the content exactly how it is written in the code, which is kind of different with the p tag, for example. You will see the difference. If we have our p tag here, and if we paste the same text, you see how it will display here. Automatically, the text will come back to a new line if it is longer than, the display of the screen. And whatever I do, if, for example, I bring this down here, nothing is going to change because the browser considers that this is a paragraph, and a paragraph element does not take into account extra spaces, which is different from the pre-formatted text. In the pre-formatted here, if I add some space here, you would definitely see that space on the web page. So whatever format you give in your code is going to be replicated on the display on the screen. Okay, and as you can also see here, the text is indented compared to the paragraph, and it is showing in a pre-formatted default font. So these were some of these computer code tags that we can talk about, and as I have shown you, you can use these particular elements to define user inputs, computer code, variables, or maybe error messages that you want to show on the screen. You can use them, mathematical formulas, or your code that you want to write on the screen, or maybe a combination of your keyboard to do a certain action on the website. You can write them using some of these five computer code elements. So I hope the video was informative enough, and feel free to like, to comment, and share this video. And if you have any question, you can write them in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Let's meet in the next one.